Hello everyone and welcome to Amnesia Rebirth. Looking forward to this. I know I said I'd do the A Machine for Pigs compilation next, and that is still being worked on, but I decided, why not just get straight into Rebirth and I'll upload the compilation of A Machine for Pigs some other time. I also have some other ideas that I'm going to be trying out in the works that I'll leave as a surprise, and I'll upload them shortly too. For now though, let's just focus on Rebirth. As I said, I'm very excited for this. I remember when this first came out, and my mind was blown. I couldn't believe they were continuing Amnesia, and I was really excited for it. It's going to be interesting revisiting this. I've already beaten it a few times before, and when I first played it, I didn't pay that much attention to the story. So I'm going to be paying extra attention this time around in the Let's Play. It's also a bit different to 100% than the other games. It's a lot more difficult. The Dark Descent was very easy to complete, as was A Machine for Pigs. This one, it has the standard collectibles, the standard different endings, but it also has a few other annoying challenges which we'll tackle along the way. And by far the most difficult one is going to be the speedrunning achievement, where you just beat it really fast. I don't know exactly how fast. Apparently faster than any frictional games developer. So that should be fun. I believe that's all there is to talk about for now. Oh, of course this is in the same universe as the previous two Amnesia games, but I don't think it has anything to do with the previous two games, unlike A Machine for Pigs, which did have some connection to the Dark Descent. Like, the pigs and everything was all a result of the things at Brennenburg. Oswald just used everything he got from Brennenburg Castle to create what he created. But in this game, I don't believe it has much connections to the previous games. But that's okay, as long as it's in the same universe, I suppose, it doesn't really matter. Right off the bat, we have two different difficulties, similarly to the first Dark Descent. We have Adventure Mode, which acts as like an easy mode. You like exploration and puzzle solving, but don't want to deal with horror. You never have to worry about monsters, and you are safe even in the darkness. A story-driven adventure that is lighter in gameplay and features a few additional puzzles. This intrigues me, the few additional puzzles. I might try this game mode out on my own, and if it's different enough I'll make a video of it, but probably not. The lack of monsters makes me uninterested in it. But I do want to see what the additional puzzles is about. Then we have Original Mode, which acts as like a normal mode. You like horror and you are up for a challenging story-driven experience. Darkness and monsters increase your fear, causing long-term repercussions. This is the game experience as originally intended. Something else to talk about is, as you can see here, it doesn't talk about dying at all. That's because this game has a different game over feature. When you get caught, and I won't go too in depth with this, as I'd like you to see it for yourself, but when you get caught, it's not so much about physical danger and more just about how scared you end up. Fear and insanity is once again a thing in this game. It wasn't a thing in A Machine for Pigs, but it's back. And I do believe it's actually even more threatening than it was in the Dark Descent. Without further ado, I think that's all there is I wanted to cover. I'm sure there's more, but I've wasted enough of you guys' time and my own time. Let's get right into this. A little warning before I do start a new game though. The intro sequence is about 8 minutes, so I might be silent for a while before I start talking. I don't think this is the intended thing that... We're just gonna bypass that. The hell was that? Why did that happen? Anyways, this game should not be played to win. Immerse yourself in the world and destroy fear and darkness all your enemies. In a sense, I'm playing to win it though, as this is a no death run, which I neglected to mention. You know, I'm cheeky for that. In the Dark Descent and A Machine for Pigs, I just put like all collectibles, no death run in the thumbnail, but I never explained that there were no death runs and also like completionist runs. I should have done that, but I didn't. I also didn't with this one. It's not that I don't care. I just didn't. I don't know, I guess it wasn't important enough for me. Maybe I didn't care. I hope this loads before I get a crisis.
There is a moment when you realize what the pain has made of you. In hiding, curled in on yourself, unable to show the world your face. Acting on instinct, lashing out, even at those closest to you. Time has passed, and time is a thief. It has stolen your memories. The agony has faded, but so has every precious moment of joy. You have been hollowed out from the inside, and there's nothing left of the person you used to be. But you try. You try to remember how to smile. You try to remember how to love. And one day you crawl out from your hiding place and step back into the world. And then, every day, you do what you must to survive.
What was that?
Nothing. Don't worry.
Pretending it's not there won't make it go away.
Salim, it's just turbulence. It'll settle down soon.
Yes, I know. It's hard though. You know, your head tells you one thing, but your heart disagrees.
Try to sleep.
I couldn't. I keep imagining what might go wrong.
I know someone who can help you.
And who's that? Maka. Oh, I had no idea you brought him.
I didn't want him to be lonely.
I know, my heart. It's good for him to have an adventure, but he'll be glad when this journey's over, I think. He's had a hard life.
And there's so much more to come.
Alex?
Yeah, him.
Yasmin, get up here! Hello, this is Algiers. Can anyone read me? Mayday! This is Cassandra. Do you read?
Okay, hold on.
Come on. Stay with me, baby!
Don't forget. Don't lose it. No, come on. Need to find him. He must understand. Don't forget. It's her. It's all because of her. Focus! I am Tessie. I am still Tessie. What? Where? My You can make it. Don't forget. Don't lose yourself.
I have laudanum. It will help, but you must try to keep calm, or it will get worse. Do not allow yourself anger. Do not allow yourself to fear. You understand me, Tassi?
What happened? Where are they all? Where's Salim?
Very interesting. So we've just been thrown directly into this, and we got a bit of information overload there. First things first that I want to note is we clearly got an homage to Daniel when he was trying to stop himself from forgetting. With Tazi there trying to keep herself from forgetting her past. So that was very cool. Although you'll never beat how the Dark Descent did it as you're walking through Brennenburg in a dazed, confused state, blacking out and then waking up in different areas. That was really cool, and it doesn't quite match that, but we got lots of imagery while Tazi was trying to remember things. Imagery that I'll probably forget. It's probably just a lot of filler stuff. Although I did notice some things that are important. Alongside that, we got some introduction to a few characters. Or primarily just two characters, that being Tazi and Salim. Our goal in this game is kind of like a mixture of the Dark Descent and A Machine for Pigs, where we have to find Salim, similarly to how Oswald had to find his children, so we're still trying to find a loved one in this. But there's some similarities to the Dark Descent, like Oswald remembered much more than Daniel did. It seems Tazi doesn't remember much of anything. Then again though, this has a more Machine for Pigs vibes because she does seem to remember a lot more than Daniel actually. She just... No, after thinking about it more, it never really delves into how much Daniel remembers. I mean, he just forgot everything that transpired once he got to Brennenburg, from what I know. Either way, let's just start reading this. This will act as our, journal, I suppose you say. I didn't mean to do that.
My handwriting. I don't remember.
This will act as our journal, if I can find out how to bring it back up. I have to remember, she will die, find Salim. I'll be trying to collect all the memories as well, but no guarantees, as I don't know where they're all at. I should have wrote that down, but I couldn't find any sources that tell you where the memories are. I should find them if I get every other collectible as well though. Right off the bat, we have similar physics to the Dark Descent. We can pick pretty much anything and everything up, but it also has the weight that A Machine for Pigs had, so that's really cool. So once again, we also have a hybrid between the Dark Descent and A Machine for Pigs. And right off the bat, things are getting quite interesting with a plane crash for unknown reasons. Now, there are a number of reasons planes can crash, but with that many highly
That's the doctor. I'm here. I'm here. Hello. Hello. This is Tazi.
Of the Cassandra. Can anyone hear me?
You
And I will also add that this game looks very good, but I wish my computer could handle it better. I might try lowering the graphics just a bit more, just because the game's not running the best. And I hold performance over graphics, although I would like to have both. But anyways, that's a side note. As I was saying, it's weird that so many highly trained professionals would all go on this plane and all crash. So I feel like there's something suspicious about the plane crash there. It looked like the left wing was broken. I could have sworn that was a pick-upable item, but I can't get to it. Anyways, I have before me a book that I spent like 5 hours writing. It details every single thing I need to get in this game. However, these notes are undetailed and horrible. I can barely understand it. The writing's good, don't get me wrong, but what I'm actually saying doesn't make any sense. Point number 1. Note 1. Inside the plane. Where is inside the plane? I just expect myself to remember where these things are. Presumably, though, it's this one right here. Maison Blanche Airport. Gosh, I misread that. Oh, by the way, also, I believe we're playing as another French individual, much like Justine. However, we are back in Algeria, I believe. Flight plan, 12 passengers, crew 2, plane Cassandra, owner Sterling Shipping London, Great Britain, model Douglas DC-3, call sign Cassandra, pilot Nicholas Mason, flight time and date March 3rd, 1937, 8:30 AM, flight route Cays, French Sudan via Nzala, Algeria. Estimated flight time, leg 1, 1.5 hours, leg 2, 7 hours. Basically useless information, but it's still cool to know anyways. Well, it's not entirely useless. First of all, we know what time it is now. 1937, this is part of the new century. So about, let's see here, 38 years after the events of... 37 to 38 years after the events of, A Machine for Pigs. I think more closely... Actually, it might actually be 36 to 37. No, what am I talking about? It's definitely either 37 or 30... Yeah, 37. Yeah, because Mandis died on the first day of the first... So January 1st, 1900 is when he died, exactly. So it's 37 years after the events of A Machine for Pigs. Oswald's corpse is still probably sitting in that machine as we speak. And undoubtedly, the entire events of Amnesia Rebirth is something that Oswald would have seen after he touched the orb.
I can't stay in here. It's just going to get hotter.
Which is crazy to think about. Also, it appears I'm killing Tuzzy on accident. I don't think she can handle it in here. So let's get our butts in gear.
The door's broken. There was a handle, I think, before.
That's a very cool pickup system. So we have our inventory back, which is one of the things I'm most happy to see. Also, Tuzzy is a really good artist. It's great to see this. She's very skilled. Cockpit door handle, the handle to the Cassandra's cockpit door.
I've got to get outside.
Oh, so cool. I really like that. Interesting watch there.
Oh, Mother Mary.
We're lost in the desert, which is one of the top 10 places you don't want to be lost in.
Help! For God's sake, help me!
I remember people were hurt in the crash. I was here. think. Where did they go? Where's Salim?
I'm leaving footsteps. You'll love to see it.
It's all right, my friend. We'll get you out.
Tozzy certainly talks a great deal more than Mendes and Daniel, which not entirely sure how I feel about that. I think it's fine.
Leon, Jonathan, give us a hand here.
Though I don't know why she would be talking out loud to herself so much. People usually, in a monologue, they don't find much need to talk out loud. Not that that isn't a thing.
Case. Left side. Bandages. Quickly.
Not that that isn't a thing people do. People do talk to themselves, but still.
No, Rachel!
My next note says, note 2, by left side of plane. I presume I've already found it. And then I walked away from it like an idiot.
Christ and these little angels. We are folk here.
Ah, brilliant. Here it is. Nicholas Mason. Why haven't I toggled the thing? It would make it so much easier to read. Nicholas Mason, pilot, papers, not our problem. Travel from, not our problem. Sterling Shipping providing the plane, Cassandra. Custom job, hope it's got guts, rather than just pretty looking. It's. Pilot is Mason. Frenchman hired by the shipping corps. Meet him and hostess Yasmin at Maison Blanche, Wednesday 3rd. Is this Mason from Morocco trip in 33? If so, darn good pilot. We could charm the skin off a snake. One Rachel. Dang. What does it mean by hope it's got guts? Does it mean... Oh, it must mean the plane. I'm so stupid. Yeah, that's really cool.
So, you met our pilot, did you? Thinks a lot of himself, don't he? Ah, it'd annoy me more, but he is good. So what can you do?
Fair enough. As long as they back up their ego. What in the motherlode of Santa's hole was that? That didn't look like no normal bird. This is what the crying was about. She was probably mourning over this individual. So 2 people were buried. 2 people lost in the crash from the beginning, and then they travelled onward, likely somewhere over there. But before we go over there, I want to examine things a bit more. Actually, no, I don't. I've just looked at my notes. There's nothing else over here. Actually, no. Hold on. Get a load of this. I wrote down note 3. Inside suitcase. Pest Aqua. There are so many suitcases. Which suitcase?
Wait, Hank.
But we've no choice. We need to get them to shelter.
I know. It's Salim. He's hurt. You know what he's like.
Let's get him down there, then you and I can sit on him while the doc takes a look. Don't worry. The caves aren't far.
Caves.
This is a very catastrophic situation to be lost in. As I said earlier, desert is one of the many places you do not want to find yourself lost in. And I'm sure that they came prepared for such an event, but even if you are prepared, that doesn't... It just minimizes the danger, it doesn't remove the danger. And when you've got lives lost and injured team members, it's hard to keep up morale.
Salim! Salim, are you there?
And I still don't think I found out why they came here exactly, so I'm looking forward to get the answer.
Anyone hear me? Hank! Doctor!
Looking forward to getting the answer to that. Also, another cool thing is when you look at the sun, she puts her hand up. It doesn't really mean much, it's just, I like it, it's a cool detail. However, I want to get inside ASAP. Being cooked like a sunny side up egg was not on my list of things to do today. And also, we must find Salim as fast as possible, if he is still injured.
But it's good, isn't it? People have been here.
So, we'll be shot with salt instead of dying of thirst. I agree.
Leon.
What? No point getting your hopes up. We're in this shit.
I love it when there's an optimist on the team. Really increases that morale I was talking about earlier.
Oh, there is a cave. Oh, thank God.
I wouldn't thank him too fast. You have no idea what's in that cave.
Dearest Susan, dearest Alfie, the stories don't do this place justice. It is amazing. You've never seen anywhere as busy as the market in Algiers. The smells, the flavours, the colours, and oh, the noise. I may have picked you both up a little something. You never know your luck. All my love, always. Dad.
You see, and this increases the tragedy of the situation, whereas this reminds you that there's a lot of these people that have loved ones back at home. And those loved ones may never see the loved ones that went on this trip ever again. That is a life-altering event in a very bad way. Unbox next to suitcase. I mean, I'm not wrong, but I could have added that it was underneath chocolate box. Rachel Holt, Chief People Wrangler, papers, travel from Croydon Airport. Breath of fresh air, must thank C for suggesting her, on top of everything, much better at it than me. Need to give her a little bit of time to get to grips with the local scenery, but very promising start. Hopefully she can be a permanent fixture for future trips. I don't mean to be the pessimistic one here, but
Rachel. Yeah, she organized those lectures in London, and Charlie back at the Institute recommended her. Got a good head on her. I like her. No, don't you give me that look.
I was gonna try and be big funny and say, oh, we hate to be the pessimist here, but there may not be any future trips. But now I realize how unfunny it was after having to pause and think about it. It appears that's everything here. Oh, yeah, I've also written down that we should have gotten the achievement for waking up. Alright, nothing else. Now we just move on to the cave.
Oh, Tazi, look at the hands. Such tiny, perfect fingers. Hello. Hello, my little one.
I liked Salim from what I saw of him. He... You know, I'm not even gonna, like, make fun of him for being so scared of being on a plane. Anyone that makes fun of anyone for being scared of being on a plane or a boat or anything like that is the silly one. Because why are you not afraid of being on a form of transportation like that? Humanity doesn't have wings, it doesn't have gills, you know why? Because we were never supposed to be in these areas.
It's all right. I can manage.
Come on. Not far now.
Hello? Is anyone there? Salim!
I wonder why she woke up back on the plane. Clearly they made a decent amount of progress before they were, you know, whatever happened to them happened, and now she wakes up back on the plane? That's suspicious. North 5, 4-0 in front of mid.
Hold him more tightly, or the stitching will tear.
I'm sorry. I will be still.
Salim, I have you. I have you.
Looks like he's got a nasty wound there. Some empty bottles of laudanum, no doubt for the procedure.
This is us. Salim and me. I brought this here.
Salim Hanachi, Tazi Trianon, August 33, love transcends law. It's always August. Why is it always August? August is always a reoccurring month.
What is it?
I had something to say to you. A whole speech, something poetic, but...
You don't need to say anything.
I know, it's just... I never thought this would happen. Any of this. You and me, I would never have imagined it.
Salim, there is no one I would rather spend my time with.
Really?
Really? Stop worrying. I'm in love with you, you idiot.
You are my heart, Tazi Trianon.
I said no poetry.
I like both of these characters, they're very wholesome. I noted that the next two notes are on a table by a map, which doesn't really help me that much, but... Oh yeah, I remember now, it's this one. First I'll have a look at said map. I can't read it, unfortunately. I can't read any of these words because of the giant mic in my face kind of obscures anything that's too small. James Henry Mitchell, Expedition Leader. Rachel Hull, Assistant to Mr. Mitchell. Alexander Meville Sterling, Expedition Sponsor. Richard Fairchild, Assistant to Mr. Sterling. Dr. Anton Metzier, Expedition Doctor. Leon de Vries, Mining Supervisor. Jonathan Weber, Engineer. Anastasia Trianon, Engineering Drafter. Eva Ritter, Geologist. Lucas Ritter, Rifle. Malik Tambura, Guide. Salim Hananachi, Guide. Nicholas Mason, Pilot. Yasmin Chabani, Hostess. Interesting.
Where did they all go?
Great question. Portable radio transmitter, assume 10 to 9 people. 2 days water, 1 day's food, rope, free rifles, Malik Mitchell de Vries. 1 lantern, 4 bottles of lamp oil. 4 boxes of matches, paper, kindling for fire, fuel, 2 blankets, 1 medical kit, Dr. Metzier, needle and thread, ether, ammonium, iodine, laudanum, gauze, burn treatment, eye dressing, adhesive compress, pair scissors, 2 times scalpel blades, 1 compass. As I said, they were very well prepared and stocked up for this, although, to be honest, there is less than I thought there was, considering how far they were going into such a dangerous place. In briefcase. No, in suitcase. It seems as if they held out here for a little while before moving forward. Project Jaka Sanlama Sadolia. Client Triple Crown Mining Company, draftsman Anastasia Trianon, engineer Jonathan Weber, date March 1937. This must be the suitcase. No, wait, it's not. I see no note. I hate how creepy that thing sounds. It's just rattling, but it sounds like spider leg movement. Sterling Shipping Company identification card, date 12th January 1937, countersigned Sterling. Oh, whoopsies.
What a beautiful girl. Is that your daughter?
Yes.
My father keeps nagging me for grandchildren. Did you leave her in Paris?
Yes.
Is she with her
Yasmin, I'd like to check the Sadiola samples are packed up. Give me a hand.
Of course, Mr. Mitchell. Sorry, Hank.
Very interesting responses to her questions. Passenger number 9, apply name Yasmin Jabani. Making an awful lot of noise for a duffel bag.
My darling Amanda, by now you'll know about the crash. And you'll know that our situation is a bit sticky. We're off for a walk through the desert to see if we can find a radio or a village or some other sort of help. Everyone's putting a brave face on it, but no one really knows what's going to happen. So maybe this is it. Maybe this is the last you'll hear. If it is, I'm sorry, my love. I suppose it's my fault for wanting a big adventure. I should have stayed home after all. Please tell them both that I love them. Tell Susan that she's the best girl in the world. And tell Alfie to look after his sister. Now I'm sitting here with tears in my eyes and my hands are trembling and I just don't know what to write. I don't know how to say goodbye. I can't believe this is goodbye. I love you, my darling girl. I know in my heart we'll see each other again. Even if it's not in this life. You're Jonathan.
I can't imagine how it must feel to be in this sort of situation. The whole team must have felt devastatingly awful. You sneaky little chicken. Can't believe you're hiding under a pillow. Eva Ritter, geologist, papers German, will need a visa, travel from Hamburg, geologist hired by Triple Crown, good references. Had a brief telephone call, very German, very precise. Package deal with second gun Lucas, her husband. Note to Rachel to sort out sleeping arrangements, they'll want to be together.
I seem to spend my life around efficient women who think I'm not taking things seriously enough.
It's interesting that we get Hank's opinions and thoughts and such. Oh, by the way, it's an achievement for breaking objects, so there were 3 bottles there to break, that's 3 out of 15. Okay, never mind, that's 2 out of 15, this one's being really stubborn. You know, maybe that's just... Alright, that's 2 out of 15, I don't think this one can break. You're welcome to keep trying, though. I've never been in a cave, but I don't think they usually make those kinds of sounds. can't exactly just turn back. I mean, what's out there? Just death and desert. You don't want to be out there. 3 out of 15. Anastasie Trianon, engineering drafter, papers not needed, French national, travel from labor. Tuzzy, really don't know how to best handle this. Sure, she'll cope in the field, this is not a difficult trip, we've been on much worse. But the last year has been hell for her. That call from Paris, she sounded so broken. Guess all I can do is look out for her, try to keep her busy, need to prod Malik and Rachel to do the same. She's got Salim here too, which will help. I really, really hope this is what she needs. That it can start mending things for her, for both of them. Clearly something very bad happened before they went on this trip.
Hey, I promise I won't bring this up again, but I know this won't be easy on you. First time out again, you know? So, if you want a break, you want to get away from people, any of that, just say whatever you need.
That's very understanding of Hank. I appreciate things like that. Seriously? What does it take to break something around here?
To those who follow, I am Salim Hanachi. I crashed with the crew of the Cassandra on March 3rd, 1937. I and others were injured. We stayed while the rest of the crew went for help. My companions are dead now, and the radio is broken. I cannot wait alone. There is some sort of creature here. I must go after the crew as best I can. They followed the path through the mountain. I will leave signs. Tazi, if I do not find you, and by some chance you are reading this, know that you are my heart.
Why couldn't you wait? I'll find you. I promise.
I mean, I don't blame him for not waiting. Everyone he had known at that point, it seems from how he's speaking, everyone he had known had died. Anyone else would have went further, and he was left here alone. I would have pressed forward as well. Now, in this situation, it's hard to say exactly what you would do. Obviously, Tazi's gonna go forward to find her husband, but down there you have Mysterious Cave, where you have no idea where it leads, and over there you have just endless desert. I suppose you would take your chances with the mysterious screaming cave, as scary as it is, because you know that that is potentially death, but that is certainly death.
Oh no!
Here we have our first actual dead body.
Cold. Oh shit. Ava. You are Ava. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Ladonna. I was gonna say, I can't find out how she died just by looking at her, perhaps? Is that trying to imply she OD'd on Ladonna? Is that even possible? There are a lot of Ladonna bottles around here. But why?
Salim, I'm sorry. Without Lucas, I cannot bear it. The rest of you? This is not Salim's fault. I am of sound mind. Eva Ritter.
Alright, that answers my question. Seems Lucas was lost, or he was one of the first lost, and she just couldn't go on without him. That adds up. As for the Salim thing though, that's interesting. Why anyone would think that this is Salim's fault. And yes, it does appear she OD'd. That garners more investigation. Oh no. Is there a translation? I'm not even going to try read that. I wouldn't understand it, and you know, if I just said it, I would sound horrible. Wie ist die Welt so still? See, that's just the first sentence. Imagine the whole thing. No way, Jose.
I know him. Lucas, I think.
This must have been where he was buried. And I'm standing on it. How disrespectful. So we have confirmed 4 out of 12 dead. The 8 are unknown, so I think that's all we have to do, but I'll double check my notes. I believe I should have 17 now, but I'll just double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm missing 2 notes. Okay, great. Let's continue to look around. I'll try not to take too much time. My notes aren't exactly well written. They're very all over the place. It's actually really annoying. I really like the setup in this game so far. Did I already get this note? I'm sure I did, yeah. I really like the setup in this game so far. It's intriguing. Though it doesn't build up as much interest as the Dark Descent and A Machine for Pigs did. It feels a little more... How do I say this exactly? It's not as compelling so far, but it's still good. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it unfolds. Alex and Richard, October 36. Thought you should have this. It captures you both so well. GX.
But I can't. I won't stay here. There's something in the tunnels, I swear it.
You won't be staying. You'll be with us, and I'll take care of you. Come here.
And that has reminded me that there is clearly something suspect going on. So far, many people have sworn of something in the tunnels. And we ourselves have just recently heard a foul screeching coming from the distance. I can't believe my notes are so poorly written that I literally have to, like, search anyways. Like, that's just downright embarrassing. Alright, I'm back, guys. This is ridiculous. I couldn't see it because I had opened this and not closed it. And the suitcase was blocking this note. It's right here where the photo of Yasmin is, to the right on this pile of clothes. And it's a long note, which is my great reward. Algeria continued. The colonization of Algeria was rendered difficult by the presence of a native population which had already had its own civilization, and was nomad and warlike in its instincts. A start was made in the region of the Tell, and then the mountains and high plateau lands were taken in hand. There has been a spontaneous flow of Italian and Spanish immigration, and a system of land grants and other concessions have attracted large numbers of immigrants from the south of France, who have settled down well in the country. Between 1904 and 1914, 206,000 hectares of land have been settled, of which 91 for 200,000 were free grants. Mines. The country is rich in minerals, which however has not been thoroughly exploited. The chief of mineral resource is iron, the exports of which in 1920 amounted to 1,114,438 tons, valued at 33,879,000 francs. There are large full state deposits in the Constantine province, which exported 334,704 tons in 1920 to a value of 18 million francs. There are also copper, zinc, lead, and antimony mines. Coal deposits were discovered during the war, and the work of British and American prospectors in Iran indicates the possibility of the existence of oil fields of some size. Native rights. The valuable help given by the native population of Algiers to France during the World War led, as it did in other parts of the French colonial empire, to a wider recognition of the political rights of the native. A law was passed February 4th, 1919, conferring French citizenship on any native of Algeria who had either served in the French army or navy, was a landowner, farmer, or licensed trader, knew how to read and write French, or was the possessor of a French decoration. Get that out of my face. Most boring thing I've ever read in my life. I think it basically just shows how valuable this place was. If I can trust my past self, then that's everything I need and I can move on. Here we have a face in the darkness. We've seen this face on the loading screen before. They also have a spiral imprinted on their forehead for whatever reason. Alright, I believe we quit the game here. To get Nope Mercy, another achievement. Because I stay, leave game by fire. So past me might be wrong, I'm not sure, but let's get right back into it. It's obviously a homage to Amnesia Dr. Sen's Nope achievement. Except you don't leave the moment you get control of Tozzy, you leave the moment you get deep into the cave. So it should be around by the fire. If not, I'll know another time I think you might have to leave. So if you haven't gotten the achievement, then not to fret. I might have just been in the wrong place. No, I think that is indeed where you leave.
I think he said he'd leave a trail.
I think you leave right after she calls Salim. Now on for that, let's continue reading Salim's trail notes.
I went to see Monsieur Esperandio at the market, but he has no more work until next week. I know that Tazi has savings, and I know that something will come, but it is hard. It is not just two of us now. I want to know that I'm keeping them safe.
I respect that, and that's a very relatable issue for a lot of people.
This is from Salim's old diary.
Oh, I see. He didn't just write that and leave it there. That makes a lot of sense. There's something very rough about the fact that he was in such a state where he couldn't leave any notes behind. He had to just tear from his old diary to leave messages behind for Tozzy. Also, Tozzy, why haven't you picked that up and put it in your book? That's a treasure. That's very important. In vines on wall. That's great.
I'm not sure this is the best idea.
What choice do you have, Tozzy? So, I'm gonna pause just to say how dangerous this is. Being in the darkness has an even more detrimental effect in this game than it does in the Dark Descent. It has permanent effects on you throughout the course of the game if you're in the darkness for too long. Now the problem with that is that You know, there's no the sources of light are very hard to come by in this game, and I'm gonna be looking around like an idiot trying to make sense of my notes, trying to find where the heck this all is. Vines on wall. That's a great help past me. So don't worry, this doesn't replace a lantern. We'll still get a lantern later on. However, matches are very hard to come by, and they just go out for no reason sometimes. I'm pausing again to say something else. There is an achievement for using up a lot of matches, so don't be afraid to use them, but be afraid to use them because they're very hard to come by. You should get it naturally over the course of the game.
If only I had a lantern or something.
You said it. This is trash. I'm primarily looking for vines on a wall and not much else. Oh dear, the game can't handle how dark it is. I believe it is sudden movement that takes matches out.
He can't have gone far.
I'm gonna light this just so I can have time to... Oh, there it is.
She's sleeping now. Maybe dreaming, curling and uncurling tiny fingers. I sit here, looking at her, and I still can't believe this. How can I deserve it? Any of it?
You absolute goofball, dude. Why would you think that? Also, he has a strange obsession with the tiny fingers. I suppose baby fingers are incredibly tiny, but I don't know why he focuses on it so much. And all of my hope was taken away from me in a single instant.
I thought I'd miss the desert sun.
I hear ya.
Oh, that's better.
The sudden, like, tentacles coming over the screen scared...
Reminds me of somewhere else.
Scared the daylight...
It's a bit like the shrine at Douvres. Back home.
Scared the daylights out of...
I feel so much better in here.
Scared the daylights out of me and I ended up using one of my matches. This is what I meant. This is one of the things that you see in the flashes when she's trying to remember. Holy Mother, hear my plea. So this is clearly a shrine, presumably to worship a certain figure of some kind. We also have some tribal markings on the wall behind the figure of what looks to be an oasis in the middle of a desert where animals and humans have congregated. We have tents, presumably representing settlements. My best guess here is they're thanking whoever this is here for the creation of the oasis, and animals and humans alike are coming over to settle here in the middle of the desert where originally it was just pure dry hell for miles on end. More breakable items, I believe that marks 4. Super interesting stuff, but we'll be moving on for now. It is interesting that Tazi finds a certain comfort in that place. I know what she means, it does feel safe, but I think that's just simply because anywhere is better than this place. Just gonna pause here for a bit to get my bearings, find out where I need to go next. This does not help me at all. Go left by box is no. Oh, makes sense, makes sense. Either way, there were no boxes here, I can almost guarantee that, so let's continue forward. After I check here one more time. I want to know how I've managed to lock myself in. I mean, out. Someone explain to me how it's possible that I've actually locked myself out. Come on, Tozzy. That inhuman strength, you love to see it, you love it. Come on. Yeah, you freaking got this. Come on. If you triumph over this, the darkness will mean nothing to you. Oh my goodness, that insane power. The power to believe in oneself. To break the universe. Oh, remind me not to mess with Tozzy in any manner whatsoever. Well, it was worth coming back in here as there were matches inside that I had missed. But no. Go left by box is no. Well, there's no box here, so I suppose this means I should just head forward, continue on my original path, looking for this mysterious box. And would you believe it? This thing still works perfectly. Why is she already going crazy? I barely stepped outside. I feel like I've broke this door somehow. Anyways, let's move forward before the darkness gets too maddening. You said it, man. How have you not, with all your talking out loud, how have you not mentioned the horrifying shrieks and cries yet? Oh, this is what I was talking about. Go left by box? You absolute goober. It's go right by box. Lucas Rita, second gun, papers German, will need a visa. Travel from Hamburg, Lucas, second gun, husband of ever, hired by Triple Crown. German, that's all I got. Not good, a gun hand, I don't know, in a country they don't know. Talk to him at Algiers, try to get the measure of him, figure out how well we'll cope.
Yeah, we had a drink. He's okay. Just a bit quiet because his English ain't great. Absolutely head over heels for his wife. Cold fish that she is.
Once again, I always ponder who's leaving these notes and stuff around, lodged in these areas. And I also want to know who this company that they're working for is and why they sent them out on this expedition, what they were hoping to find. I do suppose I should be running, I don't...
What was that?
Finally, you acknowledge those horrible sounds. Before crossing plank, on rock. I need some light here, otherwise I'm not going to find it. Oh, there we go.
A letter came from Hang Mitchell. He offers her work. A journey to French Sudan. I pray that she will take it. It is what she needs, what both of us need. To be away from these memories and back into the world.
Although it's not like, as... I used the perfect word for it earlier and I've already forgotten it. What's wrong with me? It's not as like... Oh, it's not as interesting for lack of a better word, but there was a better word for it. Compelling, that's it. It's not as compelling as Dark Descent or A Machine for Pigs, not yet, but there was definitely intrigue for sure. It's not like I don't care about what's going on, I'm very interested. Hold on a second. Before crossing plank on rock, and then there's another one on rock by torch. I guess I'll just trust myself and move forward for now, as I haven't seen another torch yet. Oh dear me, not prepared, did not expect that.
There's something... My eyes... No. What's wrong with me?
I really like the animation of her falling. You really felt the impact. And what is this? Hiding away over there. Was that?
What the hell is wrong with me?
That, my friends, is what happens every time you quote-unquote die in this game.
This isn't where How did I get here?
However, I believe that one we just witnessed is
What did I do?
mandatory. And therefore I won't be counting it. But
It's gone now, completely.
But every time that happens and it isn't mandatory, I'll be counting that as a death and we'll have to restart the run. But that is definitely very interesting. Something very strange happened to her. And something very strange is happening to these rocks. I really need to get it through my thick skull that these matches are a finite resource. That was a bit harsh, but I'm getting really salty at how quick I use them. For a moment I thought she was just going to phase under that rock, because it was taking her a while to crouch.
This thing on my wrist, it feels alive. Is it mine? I don't remember.
This, my friends, is extremely cool. You get the... I actually really like this. You get to travel through what is essentially dimensions in this game. And it feels awesome. Opening the doorways is really fun.
Hey, how are you doing?
Christ's name. How could I leave him? I know it makes sense, everything he said, but it's such stupid fucking self-sacrificing bullshit.
Listen, I know Selim, and I know you. I know what you're capable of. He'll make it, and you'll get back to him even if all hell stands in your way.
I'm so fucking scared, Hank.
I know.
Hank seems like a good friend. He's a little corny though. Everyone in this game so far has been a little corny. But Mendes and Daniel were quite corny too, to be honest.
Hush now, lullaby. Close your eyes, for sleep is coming. Hush now, lullaby. Papa's here, so don't you cry.
Sleep well, Alice.
I don't like lullabies. Every time you hear a lullaby, it's like, sleep is coming, you better keep your eyes closed, sleep is coming. It's not very comforting. It kind of gives a sense of urgency, which you don't really want when you're trying to sleep. Sleep's coming, run, you have to run, sleep is coming. I don't like it. I quite like the areas.
Someone's been here. Hello? Anyone?
I wouldn't be so quick to be cheering. I mean, clearly something bad happened to your crew, right? What's to say the locals here aren't friendly? You know? There's a high chance the locals here could be very unfriendly. Torches, to me in this situation, would be a bad sign. But hey, if you want to be the optimist, go for it. I'm not going to stop you. And here's the note by the torch. Let's go.
I was able to meet them in the park this afternoon after talking to the factory manager, Dinar. A proud moment. Alice has learned to count to 3 with her blocks.
Aww. That's cute. So far I haven't had much to say about this story, but I've mostly just been taking everything in and ingesting it. I'm sure I'll have more to say as the story unfolds.
She did. She showed me. There. In the park.
But right now we're just focusing on building intrigue and getting the basics out of the way. I thought that was full of water, but it's just the fog. We don't have any more collectibles to worry about for a while now, so let's just find our way out of here.
What's wrong with these places? This is so strange.
Interesting plants that we have here. Very interesting, as a matter of fact. Never seen anything like that. But that also is not Earth, I would presume. I think I might as well just start climbing upwards now. Don't believe there's anything else here for us. How Salim made it so far with his injury, I have no idea. It's actually very impressive. It's kind of finicky getting the right angle on this. It's like playing a game of hot and cold, like warmer, warmer, colder, colder, warmer. Is it your number one goal in life to make me angry? Would you just... I've never had this much trouble. Tazi has a lot to say, and I kind of miss when protagonists were a lot more silent. Like Daniel barely said a word outside of his mad ramblings and flashbacks. He had no inner monologues or anything. I'm not saying I necessarily think it's objectively bad that Tazi speaks. I just like it more when the protagonist doesn't speak that much. I feel like I, throughout all of this, would be deathly silent for the most part. I mean, Oswald, outside of the odd thing he said out loud, or potential, like... He didn't even have any flashbacks, he just said some things out loud randomly. Well, actually, he didn't even do that. Like, when he said something out loud, it's because there was a reason for him to say it out loud. But point is that he didn't speak that much at all, neither did Daniel. And I think I was going on another point about that, but I clean forgot it because I'm insane and my brain has bad short-term memory. But I'm sure it'll come back to me later. These are interesting torches. It most certainly is, my friend. It's also where I'll be leaving for today. This is a great place to leave, and what a fascinating place it is. Very obviously not Earth. Doesn't matter where you go on Earth, you'll never find a place like this. But not only is it not Earth, it's also broken down, and who's breathing really quickly? Yeah, it's very clearly a broken down civilization. We have old statues there and plenty of buildings that are falling apart and what looks to be just random, strange, rocky materials. And what looks like Armageddon in the sky. I don't know what else to call it. Looks like there's a giant hole in the sky that large amounts of streaks of light are going into. Needless to say, that is mortifying. And surely bodes ill. I'm not entirely sure how Tozzy's breathing right now. I guess this place has oxygen as well, or maybe something that the human body can substitute for oxygen. I'm not sure. Either way. Oh yeah, we also have what looks like plant life, but I don't know if it always looked like this, or if this is just part of the devastation that came to this place.
Shit. Shit, how do I get out of here?
That's an excellent question. Your panic is very much reasonable if I find myself in a place like this. The question going through my mind would be, what the heck is this? How do I get out of here? Help me. Where? Anyways, let's finally end this. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. It means a lot, always. Very interesting start to the game. Kind of... I don't want to say boring, but like non-action-y. Nothing's really happened. In the Dark Descent, there was a lot of build-up, but it got to its action very quickly. So did Machine for Pigs in a way. I think it's because the monsters and whatnot were revealed early. But so far in this game, we still have quite a long while before we see anything else. The most action we've had is with the sneak peek of the enemy when Tazzy fell down the area. Either way, a very interesting but slow start, and I'm looking forward to seeing how it continues to unfold, both story and whatnot. I will say though, so far gameplay wise, I think this is quite possibly... It's definitely better than a Machine for Pigs, but the Dark Descent holds a like very a very soft place in my heart. Like it holds a strong place. Either way, it's an important part of my life, the gameplay in the Dark Descent. So it'll take a lot for Rebirth to like surpass that. Still though, great start to the game, really interested in everything. Hope you all enjoyed the video. As always, I'll see you next time. Stay tuned for more... No wait, stay tuned for next time. Thanks so much. Bye for now.